Hey everyone! So, as a wellness professional, I spend a lot of time looking at how our bodies handle recovery. And today, we're exploring something honestly fascinating: willow bark. Have you ever wondered if just one simple traditional herb could support those occasional, annoying aches and actually help us stay active? Well, today we are breaking down the whole willow bark story in this explainer. Oh, and before you go anywhere, there's actually a pretty surprising fact about this plant that most people have no idea about. I'm going to reveal that a little bit later. All right, let's dive right in.
Let me ask you something directly. Have you ever just stood up from a chair and thought, man, why does my body feel way older than it actually is? I mean, it is a completely valid feeling, right? It's something so many of us experience literally all the time. If you felt that, trust me, you're absolutely not alone.
So, to get to the bottom of why we feel this way, here is our roadmap. We'll be looking at 1. Understanding your body's recovery. 2. What is willow bark? 3. Signs you need support. 4. Habits for better recovery. 5. Avoiding common recovery mistakes. And wrapping up with 6. Final thoughts and disclaimer.
Okay, let's jump straight into section 1, understanding your body's recovery and really normalizing those occasional aches we all get.
You know what's kind of crazy about this? It's how incredibly ordinary the activities are that cause these aches. We're talking about basic stuff: gardening, walking just a little further than usual, lugging heavy groceries from the car, or frankly, just surviving a super busy day. A lot of adults notice these occasional aches and just automatically assume, well, I guess this is just part of getting older. But actually, people are really surprised to learn there are targeted ways to support your body's comfort and recovery.
Which leads us to section 2. What is willow bark? Let's take a look at this traditional herbal support.
Okay, so willow bark comes from exactly where it sounds like it does, the bark of willow trees. But the really crucial piece of the puzzle here is that it contains these naturally occurring plant compounds called salicins. It's these salicins that have made willow bark one of the absolute most well-known herbs for occasional discomfort support. And researchers are actually still exploring exactly how they contribute to our comfort and wellness today. Now, before we go any further, I do need to throw in a really important caveat. This explainer is strictly for educational purposes, okay? It's not medical advice.
Keeping that in mind, let's move right into section 3, signs you need support. This is all about learning how to listen to what your body is trying to tell you.
Let's kick things off with sign number 1. You feel stiff in the morning and literally need extra time just to get moving. Do you ever wake up feeling like your body needs a solid 20 minutes to uncreak itself? A lot of people notice this stiffness right after sleeping. Sometimes doing a simple stretch helps out, but other times, your body might actually be asking for some nutritional or lifestyle support. Honestly, morning stiffness is a huge red flag that your recovery habits might need a bit more attention.
Actually, before we hit the next sign, I've got a quick question for you. How old were you when you first noticed your body was just recovering a bit more slowly? Take a second and let us know down in the comments. It is always so fascinating to see how wildly this timeline varies from person to person. All right, jumping back in. Sign number 2. You feel achy after completely normal activities. It's like your personal battery just immediately dropped to 20%. You didn't run a marathon. You literally just vacuumed the house or did some yard work. Yet, your body feels like it pulled a double shift. So many of us experience this kind of occasional discomfort after overexertion. And honestly, this is exactly why herbs like willow bark have stayed so incredibly popular over the years.
Moving right along to sign number 3. You find yourself avoiding activities you used to really enjoy. Think back to a hobby you absolutely loved a few years ago. Was it walking, gardening, maybe dancing or traveling? If occasional discomfort is making you second-guess or hesitate to do those favorite things, that is a glaring sign that it is time to focus on supporting your body's recovery. And remember, you don't need a total overhaul. Even small improvements can make a massive difference.
So, why does recovery get so much harder as we get older? Well, it usually comes down to a few key culprits. We're getting less physical activity, our sleep habits kind of fall apart, daily stress goes way up, we develop nutritional gaps, and our flexibility drops. It's like a perfect storm. But the really good news here, almost all of these are things we can absolutely improve if we just put a little focus on them.
Which brings us to sign number 4. You actually feel better after gentle movement, like walking or stretching. This one surprises a lot of people. You'd think moving would make it worse, but gentle movement actually supports circulation and flexibility. It is literally one of the best habits for healthy aging. And hey, speaking of surprises, here's that fact I promised you at the beginning of the explainer. Long before modern supplements were ever a thing, people were already turning to willow bark for occasional discomfort. We're talking centuries of traditional use here. That deep historical track record is a huge reason why it is still so popular today.
And finally, sign number 5, you recover slowly after physical work around the house or at your job. Whether you're carrying heavy boxes, hauling mulch in the yard, or just on your feet all day at work, your recovery matters. But supporting that recovery isn't just about finding one magic bullet, it's about building up a solid foundation of multiple healthy habits.
Which transitions us perfectly into Section 4, Habits for Better Recovery, and how we can actually go about building a routine that works.
The real secret here is just baking these 4 practical tips into your daily routine. Tip 1, stay hydrated. Seriously, even mild dehydration messes with how you feel, so keep sipping water all day. Tip 2, prioritize sleep. Sleep is when the actual physical recovery magic happens, so try to nail down a consistent schedule. Tip 3, stay active. Movement is life, guys. Even just a short daily walk does wonders for your overall wellness. And tip 4, focus on nutrition. Give your body the good stuff, a wide variety of vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, and healthy fats.
And hey, speaking of staying active, what is your absolute favorite way to get moving? Are you a walker, a cyclist, a weekend gardener? Drop a comment below and let's see what everyone's go-to activity is.
Now, as you're evaluating your habits, you might find yourself nodding along to sign number 6. You want a more natural, traditional, plant-based wellness approach. The modern interest in traditional herbs has absolutely skyrocketed lately. People are actively looking for botanicals that have been trusted across generations. And willow bark? It fits that bill perfectly.
So, if that traditional approach sounds up your alley, let's take a look at what a high-quality option actually looks like, using Nature's Way willow bark as an example here. This one gives you 680 milligrams of willow bark per 2 capsule serving. Plus, it hits all the right checkboxes: vegan capsules, gluten-free, and non-GMO project verified. Oh, and no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives either. Nature's Way has been doing this for decades, so they're pretty meticulous about how they source their botanicals. Generally, adults take 2 capsules twice a day, usually with food, but definitely always read and follow the label for yourself. If you're dealing with occasional discomfort from overdoing it and want to explore the plant-based route, this is absolutely something to look into. Just remember, everybody's wired differently, so individual results are going to vary.
Whether you're dialing in your daily habits, exploring supplements, or both, it really all boils down to our final and most important sign. Sign number 7. You want to stay active longer, with the energy and freedom to actually move. I mean, that is the ultimate goal, right? Nobody wants to just sit on the sidelines. We want to be out there enjoying life. Supporting your recovery is just a really vital piece of keeping up that active, joyful lifestyle.
All right, let's move into Section 5, avoiding common recovery mistakes, or basically what not to do when you're trying to build these better habits.
There are 4 huge pitfalls people run into here. Mistake 1, ignoring your sleep. Mistake 2, skimping on the water. Mistake 3, sitting way too much. And mistake 4, which is a big one, expecting overnight results. You've got to remember, healthy habits only really work when you practice them consistently over time. There's no magical shortcut here. You just have to put in the reps and build the routine.
And just like that, we have arrived at Section 6, Final Thoughts and Disclaimer, to wrap up today's explainer. You know, it's always surprising to see just how much wisdom there is in traditional herbal practices. Willow bark has this incredibly long history, and when you combine something like that with solid daily habits, movement, hydration, sleep, good food, it can be a really fantastic addition to your wellness routine. Look, the goal isn't to be absolutely perfect. The goal is just to stay active, feel your best, and keep doing the things you love. If you found this explainer helpful today, it would mean the world if you liked, subscribed, and shared it with a friend who might benefit from it.
Now, I do need to share a very important medical disclaimer before we go. This explainer is strictly for educational purposes only. I am not a doctor, a nutritionist, a pharmacist, or your healthcare professional. None of this content is intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Please always consult a qualified healthcare professional before you start taking any new supplement, especially if you're pregnant, nursing, on medications, have a medical condition, or have an upcoming surgery. Okay, with the serious stuff out of the way, I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. Knowing everything you know now, what is one small habit you are going to change today to support your body's recovery tomorrow? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.